Okay, this is a rock crawler project and started July the 10th, 2010. And there's a frame of a 73 Chevy truck, and it has a 350 engine there and cast iron transfer case, and was a heavy duty machine. Originally had a 454 engine in it, but I only got a 350 engine in it. As you can see, we cut 32 inches out of the frame there, and there lays the piece I cut out on the ground, and put jack stands underneath of it, leveled it up, and before cutting, and then squared everything up with a framing square. Cut that out of the frame. Of course, we had the drive shaft off. There's the two marks on the frame where I cut the straight piece out, and there it is before it's chopped. Now there it is. It's welded back together. Uh, had to be able to move this thing around, so we put a steering wheel and hooked a radiator and all up to it, so we could start it up, put a battery on the thing, and we could temporarily start the thing up, move it around under its own power, because when you're working on a project like this, if you have to take and tow it with a chain, well, it makes it kind of unhandy. And anyways, got the thing all welded back together, and there's one of the welds there at the back end there, and there's one on the other side where I sliced that chunk out of the straight part of the frame. Here we reinforced the frame with some 3-inch channel iron, and got ready to put the mounts, weld the mounts on there for the Jeep body tub. There's the radiator back there in the back there, positioned right above the rear end, and the fan. Now I've got a different fan than that on it now. That was a temporary fan and a temporary radiator. That radiator turned out to be too small, and wound up getting a bigger radiator. There's the Jeep body tub. Propped it up and threaded out the holes to 1/2 inch, so we could use 1/2 inch grade 8 bolts to bolt it fast to the frame. And there's frame mounts welded on there with slots, so that I could move it around a little bit to get it lined up. Most of the holes have a piece of 1/2 inch hose down through that hole there, and with a piece of rubber between the top and bottom. Now there's the tub, and there's the mounts, another mount welded onto the frame there. Now that radiator is not the radiator that's in it now. The radiator that's in it now is off a V8 Toyota, and it's got a big electric fan, about a 7/8 bladed electric fan underneath of it now. That radiator there put on temporarily. I thought it would be able to cool it, but that didn't work out too good. So anyways, we got that radiator back there in the back there, and like I say, that one there is a small radiator. The radiator I wound up putting in there fit the whole way across. I got that from Harvey Briggs over there in Charlestown. This radiator here was out of a junk car, and it did not prove big enough to keep the engine cool. And there's the old plasma cutter I used to tack things together, and there's the stick welder that I finished welding the frame after I tacked up. There's the body tub. Got that there from up there in New Jersey, and got this here off-road forklift of mine to lift the body up there and set it down on there. And there I have the radiator and the battery, taking that off the front end, and got it set on a 2x4 across the frame, and found out that it's sitting down against the gear shift, so I had to cut the tunnel out of it to get it on there. And you can see it's resting on the gear shift lever. That didn't work. So anyways, I cut the whole floor out of the thing and made a new tunnel. There, another picture of trying to get the body centered up on the frame. Had an awful mess trying to get it centered up on the frame. And there it is. It's I think it's a little bit too far forward right there. Now there's pretty much where it is now as far as being final destination. I wound up at the back end. I have 2 bricks sitting on the frame and had the body sitting on those bricks, and a 2x4 across underneath the middle of it, trying to get it lined up there. I had an awful mess with it trying to get it lined up. There's the bricks I'm talking about, one on each side between the frame and the body, and the 2x4 was still across up there underneath the front end of it, holding it, and I could shift it back and forth and slide it back and forth until I got the best fit. And once I got the best fit, then I did some trimming on the frame ends, on both ends of it. But I left the frame stick out because I wanted the gas tank back there between the frame and behind the rear end. Now there's the front of it, and I don't have the mount on it yet. And it's still there, digging there and leaning against it, something I was using to shove it back and forth. Now there, the tub was crooked when I got it, and I wound up using a 10-ton porta-pier to straighten out the tub. And inside the floor of the tub, several places rusted out, but that didn't bother me because I had to put another tunnel in it anyways, and I just simply cut that metal out there and welded plates over the holes. Sand them down a little bit. Going to do some body work later on. There's the side that was kinked, and I got it straightened out and welded a piece of angle iron all the way along the body tub on both sides. And that's not only there it is, strengthened the whole body tub up by putting that piece of angle iron. And then I had this side here on the right, front end was twisted up there, the fender, and wound up patching that in a hole down there in the lower right. And here it is, another picture of it sitting there. There's the pedals. I had to add the clutch pedal out of the Chevy truck to the Jeep because the Jeep didn't have no clutch pedal in it. And you can see I welded the Chevrolet bracket fast to the Jeep bracket and put that pedal there so I had a clutch. And there it is, both pedals are side by side. I had to do a little modifying and everything so the pedals would line up. Well, I got them in there and got it all hooked up. Linkage works. There's the 2 pedals. I need to get a new rubber piece for that Chevrolet pedal. Kind of ruined it. There's half a box of rods already, and there's the front mount for the body tub. Here I am getting the air hose ready to blow some dirt away so I can do some welding. There I'm working on that there bracket there in the front for the body tub. There it is. It's sitting there temporarily, not welded fast. And there I am trying to position the thing and get it about where I want it. It's still not welded fast. It's just tacked there, and the mount's not there. There's a tag I hung on originally, so the neighbors wouldn't run me out of town while I was working on it. There's the plasma cutter that cut, and there's the Oldsmobile 6-way tilt wheel that I put in the thing, and got my pedals in there now. As you can see, there it is. I got it turned up on the side. I had to do some work underneath of it, and I got one of them car cradles where I can take 2 wheels off on the one side and put them there rocking chair runners underneath until they're up on the side. There's my new radiator and the grill over the radiator to protect it from stones and everything. There it is again. Now out there it's got the new radiator in it, the Toyota radiator there, and that cools it right well. That's what it needed. There's another picture of the underneath of it laying up on the side. You see I got 2 of them there glass pack mufflers on it. There's their cherry bomb mufflers on it, and she sounds real good. Straight through, about 2 1/4 inch exhaust. And now here I am working on the gas tank, and as you can see it's canted at the one end, and that's the end that'll be sticking out at the back end, so it's narrower at the back than it is the front, and that's so if it lands on a rock or something, it'll slide off of it. Now it's made out of 1/8 inch steel plate. It isn't no piece of tin like they put on them. I made this thing out of a strong enough iron that it could land on a rock and slide off without gashing a hole in it. And you can see how it's made there. That end there back toward us there, that narrow end goes to the back bumper, and the front end is deeper, and the rear end protects it. So if the rear end slides over it, then that piece will slide up and it'll slide right off that rock the way I got it tapered. So there's another picture of it, the tank. And there's a picture of it. That end has not been welded on the tank yet. I just thought you'd get to see how I done it. And there, tack it on, and then take a plasma cutter and go out around it and finish trimming it. And there's the new floor. Got the new floor in there, all welded in there, and boots on the gear shift and everything there. And there it is, sitting there in the driveway. It looks bad, but don't have no bumpers on it. Now, I got out and started working on it there. It took me 3 days to make the front and rear bumper for it. And they're made out of steel plate, quarter-inch, diamond plate there on top. And the bumpers are 3-inch channel iron, 3 pieces. That makes it 9 inches wide. And the front one is 48 inches long, and the back bumper is 54 inches long. And you'll be able to see them here in the next picture or so there. There's the front bumper. Got 2-inch receiver welded right in level with the front end. It's level the hole in there so you can walk by without banging your legs on. But it's a real working bumper. You can stand on it and check your oil and everything. And the same way with the back end, you can stand on that bumper. And she's titled as a street rod, which makes it perfect legal in the state of Maryland for body modifications. Now that there's just about getting near the end there, street rod tag there, showing the tag there. And then we come on here to the credits. Project complete October 23rd, 2011. Fun building it while in now the Veterans Hospital in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Time well spent. Hope to have many hours of fun enjoying this, my latest project. As my health is failing, it might be my last major project. Enjoy. That's the end of the movie.